Hey guys, we are going to be talking about ROAS inside of this video. What ROAS means, how it's calculated, some nuances around it, when you should use it, when you should not use it. So if you want help understanding ROAS for your business or understanding any of the metrics that you can take action on to help you be a more profitable e-commerce operator, then go ahead and book a call using the link somewhere around here and we'll jump right in. Let's talk about ROAS and just dive in and start looking at some examples. Okay, so ROAS is pretty simple to calculate at its core. There's a few things that some people like to include or exclude and things like that, but really ROAS is return on ad spend. So a couple considerations there, right? One is this only accounts for the ad dollars that are being sent. Or as some people will do is they'll do the variable cost also associated with the ad spend. So that might include the fees of your agency. That might be included in your ad spend. Any incremental costs associated with acquiring an additional sale from that ad could also be included. So lots of people include some different things, but at its core, this is a measure, a marketing measure of your marketing efforts, not as like your business as a whole. Okay, so this is a return on ad spend. This is not like return on investment or anything like much larger business related. This is very much scoped to individual campaigns, ad sets, or ads type of situation. So it's the return on ad spend, ROAS. So let's take a quick little example here. Let's just say we have our campaign one, and let's say for sakes here, what we've done is we spent, I don't know, $1,000, okay, for easiness. And then our attributed revenue, this is an important point to kind of talk about, is our attributed revenue needs to be the money that came back from each dollar that was spent inside of that one campaign. So this is now where it gets a little bit interesting because it does require attribution, right? This is attributed revenue. This is not considering the organic revenue or the revenue from emails, right? This is supposed to be revenue attributed to the spend that was for that campaign channel, whatever it is. So immediately this is already flawed. Like there's some flaws in how this works because you are taking your number from an attribution tool or from in-platform metrics, which is always going to have some other considerations and is not always going to be 100% correct, right? As long as it's directionally correct. But the key thing is you need to be consistent. So for simplicity's sake, what you can do is just look at the number directly from the ad platform. If we're looking in Meta, for example, we might see our campaign and we might see that it brought back, we spent $1,000 and it brought back $1,500. Okay, so that's attributed as reported by Meta. We're using Meta as the attribution tool. For them, it could be the 7-day click. That's what we would recommend using is just the Meta in-platform 7-day click, that revenue that it says. So the formula is just, in this case, C2, which is this column here, over the spend. So that's what this looks like. So we have the attributed revenue over the amount we spent. And so that gives us a number, which is not this is represented as a number, not a fraction or a percentage. So the ROAS is 1.5, right? Which means for every $1 we spent, we're generating $1.50 back as ROAS, right? That's not necessarily true at the business level, right? Because if we're taking into consideration all these other costs and things like that. But as a measure of ROAS, and this is primarily going to be used by the ad buyers, right? A business owner shouldn't really care about ROAS, right? At the end of the day, ROAS doesn't matter. ROAS could say you're at a 10, but if you actually look in the bank account, you're not making $10 back for every dollar you put in, right? But in the world of ROAS and the ability to determine whether one campaign is working over another, right, with imperfect attribution, this is a way to make that decision, right? Should I kill, scale, chill, whatever the acronym is, those campaigns based on campaign ROAS. So it's really a primary measure for the ad buyer. Now, what are maybe the related metrics, right? So your ROAS is going to be impacted by, here's the cool little formula there if you want to see. Let's do another example. So campaign 2, let's say we spent $10,000 and we only generated $8,000. Okay, so we got to drag this down. There we go. Our ROAS is 0.8. For every dollar we spend, we're only generating 80 cents back. This means you're losing money on your ad spend. And let's do one more that's really good. So let's say we spent $10,000 again, but we generated $30,000 in return. Copy the formula. There we go. the ROAS is a 3. For every $1 spent, you're generating $3 back. This is an excellent ROAS, suggesting highly effective ad campaign. So depending on where your ROAS is, right, and the what is good is going to depend on the business. There's ways to calculate like a break-even ROAS, meaning as you're scaling your campaigns, you need your ROAS to be at a certain level in order for it to be break-even, meaning every dollar you spend generates $1 of profit back if you consider the costs. So if you consider the costs in this associated with the product delivery and things like that, then you want your attributed revenue to be at a 1.6 or a 1.8 or above a 3, for example, in order for it to be profitable, right? That will change on a per kind of situation basis. So things that affect your ROAS, obviously going to be your average order value. That's probably going to be the number one thing, which is driven by the product mix that you have. So your business, what type of products you're selling. Are you selling pools or are you selling supplements, right? Are you selling treadmills or are you selling knickknacks? So that's going to be the number one driver there, as well as the on-site conversion rate. The on-site conversion rate or your website conversion rate is going to be pivotal for controlling the ROAS. They have a strong correlation. As your conversion rate goes up, your ROAS should also increase as well. Now, the purpose of ROAS is not to be a business-wide metric. Like we said, the true king of measuring your success is going to be MER and AMER, as well as your CAC and NCAC. AMER is going to be the acquisition marketing efficiency ratio. So it's going to look at the business more holistically. And your NCAC is going to be your new customer acquisition cost. So keep an eye on those more from a business perspective, but from the sort of in the weeds person, they're going to be using ROAS to make decisions on which campaigns to scale. So that is ROAS. Let me know if you have any questions.